Okay, hi guys, good morning. I'm still here in Dubai, but for this video, I want to talk about entrepreneurship and business. We've talked about different topics about how you can start a business, and now I have a very interesting topic that might help a lot of those who are starting, and you might get ideas from this as well. I'd like to talk about starting a business by addressing a need. I'm here with me is May Mendoza from Emirates, who's also part of the team who started to make stock smarts here in Dubai. But now we're gonna explore the entrepreneurial side of her. Yeah. So hi May.
Hi everyone. Hi Marvin.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me.
So you are a cabin crew, yes?
Yes.
First class cabin crew.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I've been flying for almost a decade.
Wow.
And yeah, so it's been quite a while and still really enjoying what I do. So meeting people and seeing places, meeting and exploring, discovering other cultures. Really
So
nice.
when you started flying, what did you see? Why did you come up with a planner? Why? What was the need that arose from it?
All right. So usually the structure of how we do it every time we have a flight. So we usually have a briefing. So what happens is all of the flight attendants who will be operating on that particular flight will gather, and then there's what you call a meeting or a briefing wherein you discuss the flight plan or how many customers. So it's really setting the tone and the mood for the flight. And usually you have to write down specific details. Say for example, the name of the flight crew that you're going to fly with. You have to get to know who your colleagues are, and also what are specific details, upgrade prices for example. So these details that you have to note down.
They're not listed down yet.
They're not listed down.
Okay.
So what happens is you really have a lot of flight attendants. What they do, they buy their own like plain notebook. They write it down there, or sometimes you can just see them writing it on a piece of paper. So from there on, I saw a need. Like for me, I have to write it down in a piece of notebook as well, and I'm very particular. So I said, it's been like parang a struggle. Like where do I find that perfect notebook?
So why? So just for those who are listening, let's break it down.
Yes.
She's been working in the industry for years. You've been there for 10 years. When did you find out that there was a need?
No,
What
I
year?
think maybe 5 years later. Over
5 years later.
Yeah.
Alright, so when you found out 5 years later there was a need, when did you start the business, or when did you start creating planners after that?
Okay, so we started creating in 2016.
So how many years
That
before?
was maybe 7 years later.
7 years later.
Yeah,
So-
yeah.
Okay, so you realized a need on the 5th year, then it took 2 years for you to actually start
Yes,
doing it.
yes.
What did you do in the 2 years that caused you that? What happened in the 2 years that caused you and pushed you to do it?
Okay, so since I've been writing it in a piece of notebook, and usually I buy it from a different, like say for example, there's a specific brand that I go to because I like, there's para siyang the quality that I like, or the spacing. So, ang nangyari, I couldn't go to that specific country because I usually go there and buy it there. So I said, parang ano talaga, parang this is hard. Like every time mauubos na yung notebook mo, maghahanap ka. And maybe some people would say, oh, easy lang, it's a particular notebook. But for me, it's different. So,
So it wasn't just a problem, it was
Yes.
something you were irritated with already that you wanted to solve.
yes, exactly.
Okay.
So what happened was, over a cup of tea, me and my friend Karen, she's also a flight attendant. So we said, she has the same concern as well. She's like, yeah, same as you, naghahanap din ako ng particular notebook that would really parang bridge the need or something. Then my husband, si Ontep, then said, out of the blue, he said, why don't you create your own planner?
This was in the 2-year period.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So why don't you create your own planner?
So when this was happening also, how did you know that it wasn't just you was feeling this way, that there were other cabin crews that were needing it? How did you find out that it was really a need?
It was really a need because before we even started to really consider of creating that particular planner, we did the research. So what we said, like during flights, out of verbal lang na parang, do you think you need this one? And then 100% of the people that we asked said yes.
Okay.
And then in order to really formalize yung for us to really gauge it, what we did was we conducted a research. So we were having surveys every flight. We were giving out parang survey forms to see do you think you need it? What are the things that you want to see in that particular planner?
Okay, so for those who are listening, let's break it down even further. She said that there was a need. She got irritated about it. It came to a point that irritation caused her to actually act on it, but she did not act on it blindly. She actually did a survey, or she checked the market also if there were people who would be interested about it. Kasi that's a problem sometimes with people who do business, that they don't study first. They don't actually check if there's actually a demand for it, and then later on they lose money along the way. So now, a few years after that, how did production begin? How did you pick the design, the marketing, and everything? What's the process there?
Okay, so when we were able to compile already the survey, the results that, when we check kung ano yung gusto nilang makita, one thing that we kept in mind was it had to be of quality. Yun talaga. So it had to be of quality. It had to be of something na tawag dito, meaningful and useful. So
Okay.
these were the three things. It has to be quality siya,
Quality, okay.
useful, and then meaningful. In a way na they could keep it in the long term. They can look back and they can say, you know what, I did this flight with this kind of person. It's not just like data. You can keep certain things then. So what we did was we contacted someone to help us lay out the planner that we wanted to have.
Okay.
And then we contacted several producers or printers who can do it for us, specifically the kind of cover that we want. So this is the sample, the kind of cover, the kind of paper. And then once we saw that there was somebody who could actually produce something the same way that we wanted to be produced, then we
What's
proceeded.
the importance of quality in a business? Kasi some people would say na, if I do it cheaper, pangit quality, I still get clients. But why is quality important to you?
Quality is important because what we really want to have is para repeat business. It has to be for us, we believe that there should be value for money. And if you are able to produce something of quality, apart on the seller side, you sell with confidence, knowing that when you have it, you know that you purchased something that of value. That the money that you have actually invested in is actually valuable. And for us, there is much confidence in it. You get the peace of mind knowing that we sold something, and we sold something of great quality.
So now, you said that you have quality, people like it. Do they actually come back?
Yes.
Do you have repeat customers?
Yes, they do. And the good thing is because this planner can actually record 50 flights. So some of them, when they buy one or when they buy two, they open the planner and they say, you know what, I'm gonna get one for my friends too. Or when they say, I'm about to finish mine, so I might not fly with you again. I'll get your contact number, but I don't have to wait for that anymore. I'll get another one.
So as you were doing it also, you were filling a need.
Yes.
You studied it. You focused on quality. What do you think is the biggest, hindrance, problem for those that are? This basically is a startup concept, but what's nice about it is you're doing something that hasn't been done before. What's the biggest challenge so far?
Biggest challenge is you really want to reach out to as many people as possible, to as many flight attendants who would really want to utilize that. So I think marketing. So I think that's the challenge. How do you not a challenge, but it's a happy
Problem?
It's a happy problem. A happy problem.
Okay.
Na how do you reach out to more people? And I think with that, as soon as you really polish yung marketing mo, how do you reach out to this particular target? Because for us, it's not just flight attendants based in the UAE. So
you're expanding now. You're becoming a global brand.
Yeah, no, we're actually reaching out. So some crew in Philippine domestic airline in the Philippines are
Okay.
already purchasing some
Okay.
of them. So what we want is to really not just concentrate from a little, although for now, on a small scale muna, but of course you want to think big. So you want to reach out to a lot of flight attendants around the world.
So another question is this. You talked about marketing. For those who are starting, how much or should they allot a large amount of their money for marketing, their budget for marketing? How do you spend for marketing?
Okay, so for marketing, I believe that even if you have, you're confident of your product, you already have a good product, and you believe that that's going to be something that will fill the need of a lot of people, but you have to put it out there. That's one thing that we always keep in mind is that how do we make it known? How do we ensure that the people actually know that this product exists? So,
but do you need to spend a lot, or how do you budget it? Because not everyone who starts businesses have a large budget to begin with, or probably their budget will go to operational costs first. How big of a priority should marketing be?
For us, I think with marketing, maybe a little. We do it slowly. First, we have to look into what are the resources that we have that maybe we can still market, but for free. Say for example, maybe there are groups that you can just tap into. So before even considering, okay, let's take this budget out, what we did was, what can we do to market this product for free? And then after that, we said, okay, so after that, we have utilized that part already. Then how much do we allocate in order to fill the need? Pero hindi siya yung tipong, okay, let's spend this amount of money to market it. So what we do, little by little. Start small. See how it goes. See, for example, 2 ads, then you compare. Is this working? Is this not working? Or which one is working better? So you don't have to spend much. See what is free first, and then allot something, test that. If that works, then you proceed. If it doesn't work, then try something again.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. Lastly, for startups, what do you recommend? Should they take out a loan when they start a business, or would it be better that they use their own money first? Because there's a lot of talk about leverage, other people's money. What's your personal experience in this?
For us personally, what we did was we took money out of our own pockets. So it's savings. So at least we know that it came from our investment fund. Actually.
Okay, so but money that you are not planning to use.
Money that we're not planning to use, but actually just to make it as parang to make passive income out of it.
Okay.
So I think it's important then, especially for the viewers, that if you really want to go into investments, don't take money out from your emergency fund, don't take money from your retirement fund, nor your holiday fund, for example. You have to allocate a specific fund for investments. So what I and Karen did, and Marvin as well, is you take money from your investment fund. So at least you know that you don't have to borrow so much already, because you already have cash on hand for you to invest. Maybe in the future, if hopefully we can invest still using what we have.
Okay. Last 2 things. Tips for people who want to start a business. What's something that you can give them? Then second, what makes this stand out, and what do you like about it, and how can they contact you if they want to order?
Okay, so for those of you who really want to start businesses, I will never forget what Marvin told me. Yes, what you told me before. Marvin says money is meant for people who are willing to create them.
She didn't pay me. I didn't pay her to say that.
So I have been learning so many things from you. And then for us, if you have an idea, go and cultivate it. Make sure that when you do that, don't just say, oh, I have a great idea, I'll start. Make sure you do research as well. Research is important. If there's any investment or businesses that you want to do, make sure that you think about it, you cultivate it, you do proper research before you go ahead. And also ensure that, I think, speed of implementation. If you have an idea, go for it. Don't wait for tomorrow. Speed of implementation. So don't wait for tomorrow, don't wait for the next day. If you have an idea, think about it, do something about it, because at the end of the day, it's what you do, the value of time, and then making sure that as you do it, you learn as well. So speed of implementation. I think you have an idea, cultivate it, and apply it as soon as possible. And also, I think why we're really proud of this planner.
What makes it different from all of the planners that you've ever seen?
Okay, of all the planners, kasi recently may mga nag-shoot up na ng mga planners din eh. But what we are really confident is it's very unique. It came from the heart, knowing that it is a need that I have felt flying for over almost a decade. My friend flying for over 9 years as well. So it came out of a need. We felt it because for me, even if when I go out there, it's with confidence knowing that I use it as well. And it's something that is, we look into quality, and I think we look into something that you know that when you sell, you can keep it forever. It's not something that magtatanggal yung mga papers or something. So it's quality, it is customized. It's not just something made by a big business that they say, okay, let's make something. This is customized from someone who has experienced the need of it as well. So, ayun.
Alright, so how can they get in touch with you if they'd like to get an order? But this is mainly for cabin crews, flight attendants, specifically for them. So how can they reach you?
Alright, so to all flight attendants out there, whether you are based in the UAE, in the Philippines, or wherever you are around the world, please write down, make a keepsake of your flying career, something that will actually make you share it to your kids or to your friends or to your grandchildren 50, 20 years from now, when you say, you know what, I did something, and it's through this flight attendant planner, Fly High Flight Attendant Planner, you're able to record your flight details and much, much more.
How can they reach you?
You can reach us at Cruisentials at Facebook, or you can also follow us at Instagram, Cruisentials as well. So that's with a double S.
Right, so I'll try to put the link probably below so you get to see it. So that's it. But what's nice about this is you get to hear different stories of different people, and I hope that you get inspired by what they've done, how they started their business. Kasi we all can learn from each other. So if you got inspired by this, I hope it pushes you also to start your own business, because we really need more Filipino entrepreneurs. So that's it. It's the last day of Stock Smarts here in UAE. So excited again to see you all, and thank you so much, May.
Thank you, Marvin.
Bye bye, everyone.